One of the most common questions I get asked is this: how do I stop thinking about my fear? How do I stop obsessing? How do I stop the anxiety? If you're like most, you're searching for videos on how to stop. There lies the trap. We don't need to learn to stop our thoughts or fears. We need to learn to respond differently to them, which in turn allows symptoms to decrease. If you start off your search or mindset with, how can I stop this? Don't do it. It's a trap. Seriously, you're training your body to continually check to see if you're still having thoughts, to see if you're still having symptoms, which actually produces more thoughts. It actually is natural for the brain, however, to automatically start pushing these thoughts that we don't want, which is why it takes practice. Let me take you through what to do instead of pushing those thoughts away or ignoring them. So how to avoid suppression, how to get out of thinking, I need to stop these thoughts and fears. Well, you can start by learning to notice them. That's right. When these thoughts occur, notice them. Allow thoughts to be thoughts. Not put any meaning to a single one. A thought is not bad. A thought is not good. A thought is a thought. When a thought brings anxiety or distress, we tend to label it as bad. When our brain hears bad, it goes into this automatic process of pushing. We gotta practice a thought and simply saying, oh cool, look at that. There's that thought again. That's awesome. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. As you're learning to accept a thought as a thought, you're also practicing not doing any compulsions. A compulsion is anything you are actively choosing to do to remove a thought, or it's to reduce these anxiety symptoms. For instance, if you have a distressing thought that you quickly shake your head to get to go away, we don't do that anymore. Maybe you tap something a few times. We don't do that anymore. It's possible you go to the internet to research different ideas and thoughts and get different people's opinions. We don't do that anymore. You have to say a certain phrase in your head a certain way for it to go away. We don't do that anymore. These are all the things that we have to be aware of and we stop doing because we cannot accept a thought, take value away from it, and also do a compulsion at the same time. It's like we're not really fully accepting the reality of the thought. It's a halfway effort. I'm accepting this thought, but I'm gonna figure it out just in case. Once you start to learn and accept your thought, even if you think it's the worst in the world, no one else is having these, you're incorrect. Everyone has thoughts. OCD can bring some pretty gnarly thoughts. It's easy for somebody to say, yeah, I can accept a thought about this small thing over here, but what you're saying does not apply to what I'm going through. What I'm going through is horrible. Going back to what I said earlier, thoughts are thoughts. There is not one thought that has more value than another. Some choose to use ACT therapy, acceptance and commitment therapy. This builds flexibility in your thinking and allows you to accept the thought, allows it to just be without changing it whatsoever. At the same time, you choose to expose yourself to these triggers and obsessions. This is so you can continually learn. Learn to not respond the way you normally would want to with a thought. For instance, I might pay attention and write down all the triggers I notice that bring these thoughts. I might purposely expose myself to them. I want to see the video, I want to see the picture, whatever it is. Not all at once, but starting off with something small. Maybe it's something that I'm looking at, it's a picture. I'm looking at that. Maybe it's a video. Maybe it's hanging out with my kid. Maybe it's driving. Maybe it's cooking dinner. Maybe it's saying a certain word. Maybe it's touching something. Regardless of what it is, you are practicing engaging with this thing and not doing the compulsion. Pretty much acting like you don't care. Allow the thoughts to come. Allow them to leave. Like I said, woohoo! I love this thought. Amazing. Thank you so much. You don't care how long they stay. They have no value unless you give it value. This takes practice, practice, practice. It's easy for anxiety or OCD to say, this one's important, this one's different. Oh no, it's not different. The tools work for you. They apply for any type of OCD or anxiety fear. But let me tell you, your OCD and anxiety is not different. The next time you think this, I need to get rid of these thoughts. I need to get them to stop. How do I get them to stop? I'm going to ask somebody on a forum. Remember that you're actually doing the opposite. We want to say, oh boy, I love these thoughts. Keep coming. I would hope that you stay all day long. That would be great. Stay forever, please, please, please. I love these thoughts. These types of responses help the brain know that you simply don't care, even if you really do. But it needs to know that it's sending you false signals and you're not giving into it. So if you need to find a therapist to help you out with your OCD, check out the No OCD app today. Let me know in the comments also, what response can you give your OCD and anxiety, especially if you're having some distress. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. If you start off your, my goodness gracious.